Good morning and welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia. Let's let Prince Albert out of the can, Albert Lowe, and see where we go today. The title of this talk is Je suis Icarus. Je suis Icarus. That's French, means I am Icarus. So I was writing to a friend and I just struck this myth, Icarus, and suddenly everything fits. Now, the story of Icarus, you know, the modern world that began with Newton and Descartes back 16th century, wiped away mythology, wiped away the gods, wiped away the myths. And now, said Joseph Campbell, we're in free fall. We have no metaphors. We have no way of connecting to the psyche, to the whole psyche. We're always in this little conscious mind of reason and rational and science and evidence and this little conscious mind. And we've wiped away the myths that connect us to the whole mind, to the psyche, to the dark side. See, that's why. So now the unconscious has become the dark side. That's where Darth Vader lives, you see. And is only. But let's connect to this ancient myth of Icarus. Now, Icarus' father was Daedalus. He was the mythic inventor. In fact, Daedalus was the one who invented, and he lived on Crete. And he was the one who invented the labyrinth. So King Minos would have a place to hide his son, the Minotaur, of whom he was ashamed. I love this myth. This is one of my primary myths, I think. So Daedalus invented wings held together by wax so he could escape Crete and King Minos, right? And his son Icarus and he were going to fly away to Greece. But the wings were held together with wax, and he told his son, don't fly too close to the sun, son. It'll melt your wax. But Icarus didn't listen. He got high on flying, and he flew too close to the sun. He got too close to the light, like a moth. He was like a premature angel. In the sense he wanted to get as close to God, as close to the light as he could, but he got too close and the wax melted and he fell to the sea. He got too close to God, too close to the light. He was too anxious. You know how adolescents are. Ferris Bueller's day off. He had the keys to the Ferrari, you see. So Icarus was like an adolescent. You know, he had the keys to the wax wings. He could fly like a bird. But he didn't know how to handle the truth. He didn't know how to handle the power. He didn't know how to handle the Ferrari. He was too young. So he flew too close to the sun. And the wax melted and he fell to the sea. But see, this is where the myth ends here. But we're all Icarus. Je suis Icarus. I am Icarus, and I have flown too close to the sun, and I have fallen into the sea over and over and over again. But I rise again. I heal my wings, and I fly again. And I fly too close to the sun again. Because, like a moth, I'm attracted to the light. We're all moths. Metaphor. Not real moths. Attracted to God, attracted to the light, attracted to the sun, you see. We fly too close because we are premature angels. We are young angels. We're adolescent angels. We have to fly and fall and fly and fall and fly and fall again and again until we realize our limitations. Clint Eastwood said that. Men should know their limitations, right? So to be able to fly without flying into the light and burning the wax of mortality. See, the wax is our limitations. You know, we're not God. We are gods, you see. And our wings are made of mortal wax, so they're limitations. So to realize that we can't fly into the light, but we can get just close enough before we melt, we can fly and get away from King Minos. I keep saying Minos. Minos. Anyway, so Je suis Icarus. I just suddenly realized that. So, you know, all of us are mythic stories. All of us. This is why when the rational mind of science and reason, you know, myths, you know, they're just primitive people who don't have science, so they just create myths, you see, to explain reality, to know the truth, you know, like I can know the truth because I'm rational. Reality is rational. Reality is reasonable. Reality is caused by cause and effect. Everything can be fixed. Is our mind, our mechanic's mind, the Descartes and Newtonian mind. Nothing to say there's nothing wrong with science. But it doesn't know its limitations. It doesn't know the wax in the wings, you see. We have to become aware of the wax in our wings. Otherwise, we're going to fly too high. And if we fly too high, we're going to crash to the sea, you see. Take Trump, for instance. Flew too high, crashed into the sea. You see, the ego inflation. Unless we conquer the ego, or sense of self, our sense of immortality, this sense that I'm king of the world. Each of us, I'm a king of the world. You see, that whole sense of the premature angel. Let's put it that way. Until we fly too close to the sun, burn up and crash over and over again, we never realize that we are both mortal and gods. We want to be God. Shuck the mortal. Get rid of the flesh. Leave the. This is all the monastic traditions are this. I want to get rid of the world. I want to get rid of the pollutions. I want to get rid of the corruptions. I want to get to purity. I want to restore the soul. I want to bring God back to. Let's put God back in the courts. Let's put God back in the world. I want to restore the world. This whole idea of purity, of I can, through good works, through elimination, through getting rid of the impurities, getting rid of the immigrants and the Jews and the blacks and the Asians, and get rid of them all and be pure, you see, and white again. All of this myth, you know, is Icarus. Is flying too close to the sun and not realizing our limitations, the wax in our wings, you see. So we constantly, historically, fly too close, burn up and crash. So we do that individually and we do that as a society. America wants to fly too close to the sun. America doesn't realize its limitations. Well, it is now because we're burning up the earth with our Icarus. So Icarus is a myth of the ego, of the sense of self that has no limitations, the sense of self that flies too high, you see, that doesn't realize its wings are held together with wax, that we're temporary angels. We're not devils. We're not gods. We're temporary angels, you see. I like that. That's a good thought, isn't it? Let's stop with that. Thanks for dropping in.